Boom, dum, dum, ba-dum, boom, boom. I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna freak out. Down the Pumper Hill, I want to find my lost piece out. I know that it's here. I sense it in my feet. The fuck?
The great everyone's power reminds me to feel.
Count it off for me, please. So I know.
It don't matter.
5, 4,
3, 2, 6,
89,
12.
I'm off. Oh, man.
64.
Give it a sec for the thing to start this show right here. It ain't for the faint of heart.
I do the DaPillaManz podcast.
Wow. That killed my ear. Ouch.
Hell yeah, and this is the Rhy'zrd, aka the Hugh Castle Met Guns, because I can guarantee your safety. Look, if you need to stage a drive-by be okay, you can call me.
Good, yeah. You ain't hitting nothing.
AKA Little Mac 10, which means I ain't hitting you with that Little Mac 10. AKA the Robin Baron Wasteland.
Ooh.
Ooh, AKA the Earth is flat to a dumbass. AKA 3X.
I believe it's straight. It's a straight line.
It's not a straight line.
The world is it's flat. All right, listen.
Go and fall off me.
I seen it. I tried. That's my fear. That's my
All
greatest
the flat
fear.
earthers around the globe can tell me that this shit is
Sharks,
flat.
I'm afraid.
I mean, that's fine.
It's a global flat Earth
The water just
society
falls off the
around
side.
globe.
Cool.
All around.
I'm glad. I'm not even.
We're a spherical faction.
AKA 3X is smart fuck because I have the stroke of genius. I explained this in episode 3. So yeah, watch that. AKA
Pleasure
Show
in
Me
your
the Way.
mind.
AKA Zamunda Forever. AKA
I'm from Wakanda, though.
So I said Zamunda.
Zamunda this time.
Coming to man.
Neither of us exist.
Wakanda was first.
Was it?
Is it?
Fuck. AKA everyone rolling 20.
Hey. That's some good A. It's like
Great
Dragons
aim.
left and right.
3 times in a row.
3X.
Hopefully you won't need that later. Cool.
I wish. I rolled them all too early. Got that other one though. Didn't matter.
It didn't matter. You got one.
You chilling with the iceberg. Hey, you know, you gotta need to stop slamming that door, cause Mama Mike is in the building.
I'm slamming the door.
Slamming it.
Stop slamming. Stop going in and out the door.
I hate you, Mama.
Right. I'm gonna start a drug habit. Quick, Julio, give me that hot bag.
Give me that hot bag. I want a hot bag.
This grease. In this order for you.
All you dudes surrounding the flagpole with the spikes, get out of here. Iceberg Mike is in effect.
We need more spikes. Mega Man spikes, Mario spikes,
Get 'em outta here.
Sonic spikes, all the spikes. Coming
Speak.
down too.
Hey yo, I gotta reform myself. It seems like with an X, cause you guys don't understand anagrams.
I don't. What the hell is
What's an anagram?
What the hell is X?
You don't know what an anagram
Why
is?
is it
Teach us,
X?
Mama
Read
Mike.
your English book.
No. Read. You crazy?
And defeating y'all will be simple now that I'm here. It's Deckmaster, Let the G,
Oh no.
Oh no.
and Kaba.
Combine the
I
two.
am coming for your body.
What's wrong with my traps?
Right? No, it didn't work. Call Yugi.
Precisely.
Oh no.
I hit you with the crush.
Please don't light it up.
Defeating you will be simple.
As long as you don't light it up.
Hey yo. You guys need your levels appraised. I'm the criticizer. Get them levels straight, B.
What's your
Connect them pipes, God.
What is your what are your records? I don't see a degree.
Hospitalizer, criticizer.
Don't worry about that.
I don't know.
Sound like a fucking Spawn villain.
Right. I don't.
Don't worry about that.
Do you have references or you know?
Over 100 episodes.
What are your,
we got it.
What are your
I
credentials?
thought it was over 500 episodes.
Criticizing me? Like, what do you do?
Criticize you, judgmental motherfucker. What else you got?
Is it me?
Go ahead.
Yes,
'Cause it's
you.
D, and yes, baby, the D is whatever you want it to be. All kind of D-isms. Fortunately, it's the dime, yo. Don't waste my time, yo. I'm a Shogun. You get your stuff on check. I don't want to hear it. Just get the job done.
I'm calling it late.
No, my time. You'll never find The floorboards like mine, 'cause that's where I be. I'm Rawls. Rawlin'.
Mustache.
Whatever that verb is, I am doing it. It's rawlin'.
On the
floor.
Why did I know how that was gonna end?
That's where it is. All right, bro. Oi.
Hey.
You already know it's it.
What other?
What happened,
I got
bro?
kicked out of Hogwarts. You know, it was too real. I was too real. Big man coming through. You know, I had the intellect. I had the riddles. It was giving them a little trouble. You already know what it is. All right. Cause it's a praise and crow. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. Harry and Dumbledore, they're a good man, but everyone else is a waste man. They can get crooks. They can get out of my face. All right. I'm not a fan. I'm offended.
You should have joined Gryffindor.
Too smart. No, Gryffindor, bunch of twats. I'm not even with it.
But I thought Harry was good.
Kick rocks. Just he's the only one. Just him.
The Stockton hat is real.
Ron's dumb. Everyone's dumb.
Right.
It's not good. Unfortunately, getting a lot of slander.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, I can't say the word cancer. Unfortunately for you, it's a no panda commander go! Where the fuck is my Dragonator?
Well, see, unfortunately, the problem.
Where is it?
Ryan.
I can't hear you.
Error.
I'm 77.
Error.
Where is it?
I rolled 3 20s. I
Dragonator.
rolled 3 20s.
It's big. How can you miss it?
I didn't miss.
I needed my
I
walking
didn't miss
stick.
at all.
You didn't miss?
I didn't miss. I got your dragon.
But where my dragon is?
In the dragon.
What did you say? I'm old.
What?
Yes, it's the Bolsonobi, and you don't know me. How can you possibly know me? I'm from Latin America. So that's why it's the Bolsonova. It's a shinobi.
Right.
So it's, Puerto Rican. It's a Kiko, whatever. That's all it is.
It is what it is.
You don't know me. Guten Tag. The Nightmare.
What?
The darkness dragon. The darkness. Jim Lita.
Who the fuck
Dragon
is
Heist.
that? What the fuck is that?
9.
My favorite one.
What's goodbye? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know goodbye.
I'll learn more German later.
Right. The Eighth Reich.
Heisenberg.
Shout out to
That's
Zoix.
it. Yeah,
Heisen,
Zoix. That's
Iceberg.
my bad. Zoix. Yes, this is all for you. I don't know German, but it's a nice language. Super and all that.
Uber.
So what are we talking about?
Man, we already had a crazy fucking weekend.
What?
This one's gonna be a layup.
I was there.
Like, really? Yeah, you were there. You had the first one, right?
Second one.
Nah,
Your thing
nah,
happened
nah.
before that.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was waiting to tell y'all.
That's right. I
Before
wanna know what
anything. All
happened.
right, so
I wasn't there.
in the morning, usually on weekends, I'm with my family, whatever, right? But in the mornings, I went to go get some stuff for Nikki, right?
Okay.
So I had my camera, I'm about to take a shot of Barclays, and this motherfucker, what was his name? I don't remember his name. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, what kind of film you shoot? I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And he's like, oh, so you shoot a lot? He's asking me mad questions about my camera and shit. I'm like, nigga, get to the point.
Question. That's a red flag.
Word. And then this guy was like, yo, I'm actually making up this documentary, right?
Okay.
And it was like, okay, that's nice.
Is it about?
So then while I'm
Right,
walking, this
people?
motherfucker like cuts me off and gets in my face, and he just starts like Spanish speaking as fast as he was.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's got this thing, man. It's right. So it's about these cam girls. About I'm like,
Cam girls?
Cam girls.
Damn girl.
The fuck? Like,
This is like what?
okay.
Go on.
Yeah, my free cam, shout outs to them. But
Yeah.
it was like, so he was
Terrible
talking about that.
investment,
How
but,
it's
they
don't
do
invest,
it.
don't
It's
invest.
a dub, yeah.
It's a dub.
They're doing their thing.
But yeah, they was talking about how
Old
people,
technology,
how they started to get into that to get famous, and then what happens when they meet their sugar daddies and all that. He was telling me this whole fucking spiel. At the same time, I'm like, yo, can you shut the hell up?
Continue the story.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
It's fine. Do what you got to do. So then after that, you have. He talks about this other shit about, yo, you remember this place? Like these, yo, there's this address about this place of prostitutes. I'm like, nigga, why you know the address is verbatim, bro? What? And it was like, yeah, somewhere on 46 and da-da-da-da, they got some top people and all that. I'm like, and now I'm all ready to go. Right?
Dude,
Now
like
my
a savant. Like, how does he
yo,
remember this?
and at this point, I'm like, yo, wrap it up then. So he's finally telling me some shit. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck do you want from me? It's like, I mean, it's not like it's funny or nothing. I'm like, okay, so again, what do you want? He was like, yo, let me get your number. We can talk about this more. Yo, I gave him a fucking lemon. Like, I saw this truck pass by. I saw the number, so I just gave him that one. So I'm like, I'm not about to talk to this thing about this shit. Like, you know where all the spots are. You about to get got. Right. But what random person talks to you about shit like that?
That's crazy.
Like, really? Like, who the fuck? Like, what if I was a cop?
Word.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Yo, it makes no goddamn sense. But nah. D, you done missed the story, but it's all right, though.
I'll catch it in the rewatch.
Yeah, you gonna catch it in the rewatch.
Recap of the recap.
Recap of the recap.
Oh, and this is
going on.
this just walking in.
We've been raided.
Just walking in. We just got raided, man. And who just walked in the building?
This is just audio, right?
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
audio.
Hey guys, it's Neo.
Neo Hux, aka what?
Who the hell is that?
Who the hell is that?
Word. Who's that?
Shit. Thunder Pal extraordinaire, know what I'm saying?
AKA Red
Rapper,
Ribbon, AKA
damn, podcaster,
fucking
teacher,
equations.
aspiring hacker,
Any
researcher.
like government? We asked about that.
Doing that
Damn.
stuff.
Yeah. My name is Nicholas Guede.
Why is that?
What do you-
Beep that out.
What do you guys want?
Nah, that's false. I don't even believe that.
Who the fuck?
Neo motherfucking Huxtable.
That's
There
better.
you go.
There you go.
That's better.
Kamikaze.
That should be a fucking AKA.
That should be an AK.
That's my one of my other friends was named Kamikaze from Rosedale. He's like a skater, rapper, drug dealer.
Nice.
Okay.
It's lucrative.
Cool. I don't need to know his regular name. So. Yeah, but nah, that was just.
sitting in.
Yeah, but nah, that was just my little bit of bullshit that happened.
Damn.
Like before I did that. Nah, we talking about a bunch of random shit. Just shit that happened over the course of the weekend.
Pretty good weekend.
It was pretty stupid. Like I'm just gonna reiterate. There was this dude that was just talking to me about like making a documentary about like cam girls and giving me addresses for like fucking prostitute spots.
Go on.
And shit. And middle of the street, I didn't even know this guy's name.
But he knew.
Trying to get me got. I know he ain't know me at all.
Oh.
I was.
What time of day was that?
It was like noon. It was like in the middle of after fucking noon. Telling me about the shit. I'm like, word.
Coming
Okay.
hot, yeah. Coming early in the morning.
That sounds like some hot boy stuff.
Nah, man, he's probably like that one dude. Yo, come fuck my girlfriend. Like he probably went to see
Tell
some
that
shit.
story. So while we're here, may as well.
Speaking of hot boy stuff, I just watched the whole season of Black Mirror, the new one. Did you guys see it?
No, not the new one. No,
Oh man.
no, it's not a spoiler
I don't want
cast.
to spoil it, but like, please watch episode 1 and like.
We're gonna watch all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
it's
we-
great. It's relevant to our culture as like black gamers.
All right.
Shit.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We're gonna one
We'll
shot
hope
that
not,
shit.
'cause, yeah, I'm not gonna shot that.
Ah man, you telling me to tell that story?
Which one?
The AOA story?
I'm gonna go into the Connecticut. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we'll tell that story. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on to
So,
the
yeah,
we
you
can
know,
deal with that with the Richard story.
Went to Connecticut with my wife. It's pretty, as you expect. It's like the whitest town I've ever been. Oh man. Woo. So yeah, it was wedding. We got there late. I was working all this. Walked in there. Severe lack of melanin. It was great. Walked in there, sat down. Gave us the food, whatever.
It's a wedding, right?
Yep. So they're telling stories. Man, all right, I'm not gonna go on that, but she's telling stories. So basically, she was like, okay, I like pizza, but I don't like pizza. I'm like, huh? What? And then, she's explaining. She's like, oh yeah, when I get pizza, I just take the cheese off. I'm like,
Like bitch, you eating bread.
so it's basically bread, yeah. And she doesn't like the sauce that much. So I'm like, what's the point? This is glorified cheesy bread.
Whoa. She don't even like the sauce.
Nah, it's
Tomato
weird.
bread, bro.
It was weird.
I was about to say, just eating tomato bread, but now it's even worse.
Right.
It's
Yes.
eating fucking bread.
Let me finish. But then, so like she was like, she found out one of her friends or her guy friends. She's like, yeah, we have the perfect relationship. You know why? I'm like, why? She's like, because like when I eat, I'll give him the cheese, but he doesn't like meat. So all the time, he gives me his meat. I was like,
Really?
So I was just, I had the awkward pause. I looked around, no one. I'm like, yep, she wouldn't last. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah, no, that shit would not fly in New York.
Not at all.
No, it would not.
I'm already
So I just
thinking
had a
all the
hard swallow
pauses.
and just kept it going. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Pretty whack, but it's good.
Connecticut, nah, stay the fuck away. It's a wild dog.
That sounds like a wild dog.
It's a wild dog. I heard about some trip that some motherfucker went to Utah. There was like no power, and everything where was a hike. He had to hike to the store.
Oh no.
Like yeah, it was just a fucking wild dog.
That's a dub.
But yeah.
All right. So what happened today?
Oh, today was beautiful. Okay,
Today was
so
pretty good.
we we supposed to go. We went to this place, right? It was this fucking rooftop.
Well, before we got there.
Yeah, we got to talk about why we're going there, bro. It was like a rooftop esport event.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We watched New York Excelsior versus the London Spitfire. It was a great fucking match. It wasn't a great match. It was a fucking one-sided.
It was reverse Knicks. It was crazy.
So on the way over there, he showed me this thing on his phone. Some dude randomly singing to him.
It was
Messenger,
weird. I'm like, what the hell's happening?
You know,
like some guy casually, he's like rapping and singing at the same time. I'm like, why is
yo,
that
niggas can't clap and all that bullshit.
He was like singing and rapping to you.
Yes, personally,
Yeah,
he's looking in my eyes and everything.
Like Discount Drake.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that.
Draco.
So I'm like, okay, I kind of know the guy, so this is weird. Drake. So I'm like, all right, cool. Put it in my pocket. Phone flies out of my pocket, slips out right onto the tracks as the train was coming. Shit.
Yo.
I'm looking. He's like, no!
I pull the shoulder back.
I'm not going to do it, but we're just, I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, that just happened. So, like, all right, cool, whatever. Just waiting for it to go by, see if it was crushed or nothing. It was just sitting there. It's like Myrtle, so it's mad high up. So it was like on the top of like a random part of it. Not on the, anything too dangerous on third rail or whatever. So it was like, all right, cool. This is bad, but we'll figure it out.
A couple of feet to the right, it would have fell into the street. Let's put it that way.
And we might have been better off at that point. But I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm sure they have professionals who figure this out.
So I'm like, yeah, go ahead and go talk to somebody, see what happens.
Some random dude came out of nowhere. He's like, oh, man, how are you going to get it? I'm like, who is this guy? Get out of here. I'm dealing with this. Thank you. So I left.
Think you can reach it? The dude was talking to me the whole time you were gone. I was like, you think you can reach it? How many feet did you think you do next?
How will he do it?
Thanks. Fucking blow by blow. Get out of here. Like, what? Okay.
So you think you can reach it? I'm like, fuck you said 3 times. I'm like, would you like to go down there? I'll hold you by the legs and you pick it up.
Right.
Then he walked away.
I'm weigh all my options, figure it out. So I go down there. All right, let me talk to someone in charge, whatever. So I get down there. She's like, ah! I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So we're gonna have a long day. So I just let her know. I'm like, yeah, good afternoon. First of all, yeah. I'm like, I just yes, thank you.
What you want? I'll do it. I got that. I got this.
Yeah. Good afternoon, miss. So I was up there.
Wrap it up then.
Okay. So I dropped my phone on the tracks, and she looked at me. That's it. She's pulled out a big ass book, and she's like pulling things out. She's like, okay, what was the phone? What did it look like? I'm like, okay.
It's a black fucking phone.
Exactly. Go the whole thing. I was like, yeah, it's a Galaxy, blah blah blah. It's just cracked, whatever. It's black. I'm like, yes, there's a case on it. Yes. Okay. I gotta make a call. So did the thing. All right, cool. Not a big deal. So I'm like, they probably got a guy. It's probably not a big deal. You just get a guy who'll just come up, do his thing. They walk on tracks all the time, whatever. Boom. Cool. She just gets off the phone. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. Okay. 45 minutes to an hour and don't go nowhere. I'm like, That's a very MTA response. Yes. That's the average wait time. I'm like, okay. So I just looked there. I'm like,
that's the wait time for the A in the middle of the night.
So I was just like, joking. I'm like, you don't got like a stick or nothing. I could just, it's like not that far. I can pick it up. No, don't do it. You can't go nowhere. I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna just go up there and wait by it. Oh, you could do that. I'm like, yeah. All right. So she's like, asked me to leave the station. I'm like, it's 45 minutes. I'm like, it's fine. Go up there. Cool. Went up there, walked by 2 cops. So I'm like, cool, we'll figure this out. Let Richard know, MTA at it again with them, accurate estimates. So I was just like, all right, so we're gonna figure it out. Just like, I'm gonna get this shit. I was like, all right. Just pulling off because he was a decent outfit, wearing a vest, got the Thunder Pound merch and everything. So he just hands it to me. It's like, all right, cool. So he just hops down, figures the shit out, looking left to right. Well, when it came in the meantime, so we're like, all right, cool. 5-minute delay or whatever, cool. Picked it up. Bong bong, threw it at me, just helped him up. All right, cool. I'm like, that was cool. That was smooth. Rich was like, yo, my legs are shaking. I probably feel like I'm about to get to a fight. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It was
the same kind of adrenaline, man. Because, if it was a couple minutes later, it could have been that.
Right.
I could have hit the road. I could have hit the little spot where I could have fell on the street.
I'm like, worst come to worst, we'll figure it out. Hopefully,
nah.
You ask for help. Because imagine you try to strong arm and be like, yo, I got this joint. Push yourself up, fall all the way back.
Nah, bro. What was crazy about it is like I laid on the ground like after I took the shirt off and I tried to reach and it's like the floor just like extended.
Oh no!
So it was like, like it
Reaching
felt
into the
way
shadow
further than
realm.
it was. I'm like, oh
This
shit.
is exactly what you're afraid of in that scenario.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a fucking wild. That was a
That
wild
was on the
day.
way. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then we got the event to come to. So I'm like, it can never be normal. It can never be a normal day. Whatever.
No.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh, so we get to the event, right? So after all that shit, leg shaking and all, we get to the event. We go on this big ass line.
Yeah, the line was crazy.
And we get a text.
I'm like, this is what
Iceberg.
happened. Word.
You had to take it.
I word. Berg is like, I'm here. I'm like, oh yeah,
like,
cool. He's
cool.
upstairs. His line is mad long. We didn't see him online, so it's
Nah,
not
man.
Oh yeah, he's upstairs. He's moving. He's doing his thing. Whatever. We get through the line. On the line, I'm like, okay, Berg, where you at? Whatever. I'm outside. I'm like, what? We didn't even see him.
Outside. Yo, we ain't see you at all.
I'm like, what?
Like, real
I'm
talk.
like, all right, at least you got your ticket. At least I don't got a ticket. I'm like, God damn.
How you gonna get in?
All right, cool. So.
But we met with our other homie there too.
Yeah,
like
Jihad.
yeah.
He's doing his thing. He's the comp, but it's cool. He's a rival, but it's all love. It's all love. He got his team. He's got his thing. He's been at it before us, but
That's fine.
We ain't stopping.
Nah, so we just walked out, grabbed Mike, walked back in,
Walk
went
in
straight
and
up.
don't
We
even say
ain't
nothing.
fucking.
Yeah, like how many
just-
times you got to sneak into the movie? Sometimes that's what it is. Yeah, whatever. You don't got to pay. Just keep conspicuous. Keep it moving.
Nah, that thing was litty though. Like
Yeah,
there's gonna be a
good.
video coming.
Yeah, coming out.
Did a little bit of documentation. It was fucking
good.
lit.
It was like
I
a
had no
sporting
idea
event.
that the
it was like
esports
mad hype. It was a bar, had all the monitors, all the TV screens, and everything. Mad merch, mad apparel. So like I'm saying, that's the future, man. That's where we want to
Exactly. A couple
Yeah,
cosplayers,
people
met up a
rocking
couple
the
people.
power
Yipes was there.
Yeah, Yipes was there.
You know,
Color
yeah.
Pros and all that. It was good because they was running a Street Fighter setup and like 2 Smash setups. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, the main
They was
event
there.
was
It
just
was-
an
it
Overwatch
was
wash
no
match.
girls, but- Yeah. It was an Overwatch
Even a
event.
match.
That wasn't.
Yeah, it was a wash. Yeah, it was a bus ass.
It was a complete wash. 'Cause before
But it was
they
good.
used to
It was
be even
entertaining.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
they're
but
not though. Like
bus ass.
it's just, I don't know what the fuck's happening to London.
Team was like 100% Korean, but it's what it is. It's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta win. Play to win.
I mean, that's what's expected at this point.
Dominicans for baseball. Same shit.
So Nick, what brings you by here?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, B?
Yeah, Mike.
You take this. You got to.
All right, I'll take the snowball. I used to record in my
all
basement on
snowballs,
snowballs. Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, probably because of the
Black balls.
Yeah, you got the foam on it. Okay.
Got the black balls.
Okay. Yeah, guys. So what's new? It's been a while.
We're asking you that.
We're asking
Yeah.
you.
What the hell?
All right, shit. Yo, how long has it been since I saw all you guys?
It's been a minute.
It's been a very
Let's
long
say a
time.
year. I saw you a few months ago, D. Rich, maybe like a year. Exactly a year, I think.
Nah, it wasn't a year. It was like
It was hot when I last saw you.
no, it wasn't. It was near. It was the beginning of October.
Yeah, it was before October. Yeah.
I saw you after RJ's birthday.
You saw me after. We saw me a couple times after, right? A little bit before his wedding.
Before the wedding, right?
Oh yeah. It was colder. That's
Yeah.
true. All right, so yeah, I've been doing mad research. A lot of stuff, but history, corruption, and just hacking in general. Like, yeah.
This is a no frills. This is all
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, this is on
You don't have to
DaPillaManz.
hold
That's a
back.
Cool.
a different channel.
This was
So, yeah.
established because the Thunder Palace is Disney, so we gotta keep
Pretty
it
much.
friendly.
Oh.
Fuck, so not giving.
I mean, yeah.
Straight up.
So, just like research personally, I'm pursuing a hacking certification.
Okay.
So, like, I'm gonna take the test in a few months, but I'm taking classes online. Gonna renew my Cisco certification soon.
Nice.
Teaching math still. I was gonna do history next year, but like, it didn't work out. So doing math again. But that's going on. I'm podcasting once a week.
Right.
That's going down. Working on the album.
Shout out the podcast.
Yeah.
What's your
Words,
podcast?
Words Are Weapons podcast with Neo and Corey. We stream on Facebook every week. Oh no, a different Corey. Corey that I grew up with. You know, our moms are best friends, so like we're mad close. He went to Edison too. He was on track for a while. Yeah, I think you know. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, we definitely linked up, got this project going. So we talk about like, I guess issues that affect black millennials.
Yes.
And we usually have like some sort of opposing viewpoint, and then we always like kind of hash it out on air, and we kind of educate each other and the viewers through talking to each other, because we used to get into arguments all the time. He's very argumentative, and like I can be at times. These days I tend to like try to carefully say things so it doesn't escalate, but like know what I mean, when you're on the fringe as far as what you believe in and what your research is, then you're bound for conflict unless you really finesse it with the breadcrumbs. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get better at that socially. But other than that, know what I mean, I'm out here grinding. I moved out, so I live not too far from here now. Yeah, pretty close.
All right.
So definitely trying to build, man, building the empire, sowing the seeds. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's definitely good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it has been a minute, man. Welcome back.
Been too long.
Yes.
It's been too long. You're allowed to cuss on this one, by the way.
Yes, you are.
This is not a Thunder Pound, and this is the. I mean, Thunder Pound is not a Thunder Pound.
This is demonetized.
It's not.
All right.
DaPillaManz.
Yes, DaPillaManz.
All right. Cool.
Hashtag. We should just name this shit demonetized and call it a fucking day. Like real
Yeah.
talk.
That's what happens.
I've been really like going down the rabbit hole, man. Ever since I went to Hawaii, everything's just been different.
What happened in Hawaii?
What happened in
Set you
Hawaii?
up.
When did you go?
December.
Oh, okay.
I remember
It's the
that.
best time to go.
2-3
We
weeks.
were playing like online.
Yeah, we're playing Smash. We had some after. Yeah.
I was like, exactly. We were around the
Lagging.
world.
Yeah.
Butt ass connection.
It was terrible.
But yeah, man. So I went over there with the family. It was really dope. My dad got us like resort reservations, and it was just really amazing. Right, so nature was dope. Learning about the culture was dope. The people there are generally pretty spiritual, which is cool. The locals like acknowledge spirituality just commonly. So that was definitely a departure from the secular New York vibe. So yeah, we was out there one night. My family and I was eating, and my mom had brought up a funny story that I told her years ago about one of my college friends, right? Who we call Ghost.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
Niggas gone.
All right.
Booze. You turn around, they just got you in the back.
Easy Space Ghost.
Like fucking Tom Berry.
Yeah. He's still around.
Hard.
We just.
That shit was hard.
He calls himself Ghost. He has a obvious real name, but since we're
No, we're good. Ghost is
yeah.
fine.
You guys don't
Ghost.
seem to want to go into personal names.
Nah.
So Ghost, what we'll
I
call
don't
him.
care. Whatever. This podcast, whatever.
Fuck it. So Ghost, yeah. So my dude. So
If you say the real name, I'm not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about anyway. So it's fine.
my mom brings up a story that I told her and my sister about my friend, and then I remember that dude actually moved to Hawaii. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo,
Oh, he was around.
yeah.
Fuck, you
So
moved
he
to
lived,
Hawaii.
Like, he lived
That's
minutes away
brave.
from where I was at the time. So we linked up in like an hour.
That's crazy. Bro.
Yeah, so he was actually like I met him in City Tech years ago, and we got mad close because one day I did a speech. This was in speech class. I did a speech about underground hip hop, and he was also into underground hip hop. He knew people in the scene. He knew Dead Prez and certain people he just personally knew and shit. And we got tight. He put me on to a whole bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, I used to call him like the Morpheus to my Neo. He just put me on to a whole bunch of shit because he's a hacker, so they always have the inside scoop on whatever's going on.
I see.
Yeah, so that was back in like 2009 that I met him. So after I transferred to Queens College, I didn't see much of him. We linked up every now and then, but he lived in the Bronx, and since I was in Queens, we never really.
Busy another state.
Yeah, man.
It really is.
So-
I get to Florida quicker.
So like the love was.
I wish
still
I was
there.
fucking joking.
The bond was still there, but we just never really met up. But now in Hawaii, we link up and stuff, and then he starts like telling me about all this crazy like insider info about government servers, and it's really fucking deep.
Go on.
I wouldn't know where to start, but I'm still giving you the overview on how I even got to where I'm at now.
Seems good. Seems good.
All right, that's
So so he's a hacker now. He's a white hat, I guess you can say. So he
I was about to ask about
Yeah,
that.
because there's like a difference, right?
he manages the servers that power the lights on the whole island, including the government now. So he has like a real important ass role in shit. And back when I met him, he was not an amateur, but he wasn't finished with school yet. He was still a blossoming hacker. And years later, I'm like, yo, you're like running shit now. That's crazy. You're like a grubby kid from the Bronx who you're poor as fuck. Nobody thought you were gonna be shit, and you really used the information field to level out the playing field. Since you were so good, now you're hanging out with the 1%. You know what I mean? Now, not hanging out with them, but now you have access to a whole different level of life and shit. Living in Hawaii, doing crazy shit, you know? So, yeah. So, it kind of inspired me to get into that field. It isn't super hard to transition compared to paying tuition and going to school for like a long ass time, even though I don't not recommend it, you can literally get a high paying job as long as you have the skills to hack. So you can. There's a lot of open source information on hacking, so people can dead ass get cybersecurity certifications nearly for free.
Schools are dub.
So I'm like, yo, I could easily just get this.
But the information is out there, right?
Yeah, I could just get it and then make money for free.
Right. For free.
It's a wild.
Know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm just trying to
YouTube degree.
step my game up and shit.
Yeah, nah, that's what's up. That's what's like, yeah, I got my YouTube degree.
Yeah.
So what, you code now and whatnot, or?
So I'm a noob still. So I'm just taking the online courses. So I'm just like learning content, doing labs, you know, virtual stuff for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Down the rabbit hole, fucking Matrix. I get it.
I don't even know
I
where to
get
start.
it now.
I'm Neo. I'm trying to
I
fulfill my
fucking
destiny.
get it.
Right.
Now you see.
So
this is actually inspiring my art too. Like it's all full circle, man.
Just don't get got by an agent, my guy.
I know. Well, right now the agents are running from us.
Oh.
Maybe. All right. I mean, I don't know. We running towards people. They got the info about me. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like,
They got big problems, man.
big problems. But nah, that's what's up. Damn. So let's get back to the thing that we did today, though. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So like, all right. So we walk in, and there was this one guard who didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, he was whatever.
He was a wild thing. So, yeah, he walked by. He let us in. We went
The
upstairs.
head nod,
That's it.
walked in.
That's all you had to do. Just
That's all
do
you
what
gotta do.
everyone else was doing, which is giving him the head nod. He ain't checked for shit.
Keep it simple.
Like,
Keep it simple and move.
I did not expect.
Yeah, I
place
didn't
to
think
be
it was
that big?
I thought it was just be like some regular, like, you know, some lounge type joint. It's kind of intimate, whatever.
Or that
like 500 people.
It was like 580.
Yeah,
It was
that's
crazy.
That shit was
Expecting
packed.
like 30, maybe 60. Nope. Esports is big, and that's good. Like,
Yeah.
it was eye-opening. I didn't realize it was that popular. Like, they got, you know, they literally bought jerseys and rock those jerseys like any other sports team.
No, I think what was even crazier about that is like, this is just to watch an event. It's not like the team was there.
Yeah,
it's like any sporting
they're
event.
just
It's like I go to a
watching it.
sports bar to see a UFC
how you
fight
do
or some
like a
shit.
watch
Like,
yeah, for like the World
like a
Series or
gamer
whatever.
bar.
for a fucking esport, we went to watch a match.
That's crazy.
That makes.
Nuts.
I've never thought that was a thing.
Not even possible.
Never thought that was a thing. I mean, I've seen live tournaments and shit like that, but to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
somewhere else, watch something that's happening somewhere else, like, yo, where were they fighting? Were they in Europe or something? Like,
No, I think they were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Fran?
I'm
Okay.
telling you, the West Coast, man.
nah, it's
all
getting
happening,
fucking
but yeah.
big, man. Shout outs to who was it? Alex that
Yeah,
put you on?
Alex put me on, because I was telling him, I was, letting them know what we do. Like, we're letting them know we're small. We're just, starting with Smash or, Street Fighter right now, but we're trying to we're an org, we're an organization. We got a little bit, we got the TCG side of things, but, we're always looking to grow. Like, the main thing is just get the brand popping. And he was like, yo, I mess with you doing. Yo, anything you need, I got you. Bam, bam, bam. We got this event come through with your team. Boom, boom, boom. So I was like, all right, cool. This is a good time for everyone to come. So glad you guys showed up. Everyone else
course.
fell asleep at
You
the wheel,
already
but it's what
know
it is. Because, like, it's good to
And
see
crash
that.
your
Like, y'all
zip
had to see
car.
that,
Sorry.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel.
I had
Yeah.
to.
It's good for y'all. That's, especially you, Berg. I wanted to show you, like, that's what esports is. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm passionate
That's the
about.
first half. That's only the first half. Like,
one
being
half.
in the live event, that's a whole nother beast.
That's a whole nother beast.
So the fact that there was so many heads over there, that was cool. Like, shout outs to Chris. End of the month, we're gonna do some work.
We
Yeah.
got some big plans with that. Y'all see, tune into the Thunder Files. You'll see what's the
I
plans.
hear those
with
were
that.
some good guys.
Yeah, it's a good dude.
Some great people, man.
Counterparts or whatnot.
Stealing our names, fucking untethered forms, it's all
cool, yeah,
good.
the
Fucking
Untethered, baby Untethered.
There are Echo Fighters.
Right.
It's tight. Slightly different moveset. It's cool.
Untethered for.
Right.
Yeah, I still didn't see that movie.
I got some untethered students, man.
Oh,
Of course.
It's crazy.
Shit, miss 1 or 2 or 3. I was one of those people. Yeah, I was missed 2. It was a fucking disaster. They ended up putting me to the school that was like a fucking
So
prison.
you gotta tell the story from the start.
I can't tell the from the start story.
Yeah, for your homie, your cousin who be wilding out, who had to have his fix.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. Well, it was more like a step bro or whatever.
Oh, right,
but yeah, he was a complete wash. Like, he used to steal shit. He was just an asshole altogether. There was mad stuff.
Y'all
But
getting in fights and all that, or
yeah, I eventually fought, and he eventually broke an arm off of my dude.
nice.
Feel sorry about that statue though. But yeah, nah. So we were talking about what were we talking about that led up to this shit? Because that's not a good segue. This is not a good segue at all.
It is a perfect segue.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I mean, yeah. We was talking about hackers and esports and no.
And then wild though, that doesn't make no fucking
Not
sense.
wild, duh. But what's the benefit? Because it can't be all bad.
I mean, that was like I said, that was a good part, but that's not even the damn. What were we talking about before that we were supposed to say?
Real.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's exactly
like the rabbit
That's
hole.
what we doing?
Are we there like that?
That's how we moving?
Yeah, conspiracy
Y'all
bird.
wanna
You
whip
trying
up
to whip
conspiracy
another
bird?
bird?
Oh, that's an AK. I forgot conspiracy
Yeah,
bird.
you're right.
Which one?
Conspiracy bird.
Conspiracy Berg. And what about
100%.
Spike Berg? He said Spike. Yeah,
Spikeberg, Mike.
Berg.
Nah, Conspiracy Berg is a different one.
Conspiracy
that
Berg.
Conspiracy Berg cannot exist on Thunderpause. Hell no.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh,
And
talking
not
that
at
next-
all.
please share. Please share.
Yeah, go on.
Something. Say something and I will rebuke it because I feel like it. I'll be a contrarian right now. Let go.
You ever heard of Lemuria?
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Nigga knows.
Lemuria. I think, yeah. But for sure.
Yeah.
Go
No,
on.
no, Mike. This is about Mike.
what he's talking about. I don't know what the hell.
Mike, no. He came in as a guest,
Right.
but he has fit his film.
No, I'm pretty sure he knows more than I do because it's actually hard to find information about it.
So what do you got?
But I know that there's a game called Child of Light that's based in that area. So I'm like,
What area?
If y'all got enough Lemuria,
What the hell
if
you talking- oh.
if you got enough material to make a whole game out of it, then there's some truth to this.
I'm crazy.
What is
What the
Lemuria?
hell is? What are you talking
What the
about?
fuck you talking about?
You know the story of Atlantis, how there was like an ancient civilization there.
Yeah.
Isn't that like
Lemuria is
a
another one.
Oh, so
Okay.
no.
And I just like they never talk about it ever.
Where is it at?
No one knows.
Oh, so it's like the flat
No,
Earth type.
it's supposed to be like Eastern Europe-ish.
Oh, Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That Child of Light looks Eastern Europe-ish, so.
Europe,
They,
Wakanda.
they
got
say
it.
that. All right, so this. First of all, just to not sound totally crazy,
Okay.
this comes from like
You don't want that. You don't want
This
that.
comes from certain insiders from the government's secret space program, right?
Right.
So there's
Okay.
people like Corey Good or Corey Good's a good example. He's a outspoken person who is very well versed in like all this X-Filesy shit that the government really does. So anyway, Lemuria is the other civilization. It was Atlantis and Lemuria. That was before. I think it was pre-human.
Oh,
I think it was before even like the Homo sapiens were around and shit. But
so who was running stuff?
so apparently some niggas crash landed here,
Assassin's
right?
Creed is real.
Yeah, they crash landed here, but it was two rival society groups,
Oh,
right?
Screes
they
and
wasn't
Crawls.
fucking with each other.
Creeds and Scrolls.
Something like that.
Got it, yeah.
Basically, all these
Bloods and
all that
Crips.
Marvel shit, bro. Like
I
you
know.
already know.
Kirby was out here. Yeah.
Yeah, so all that shit is like pretty real. It's just said in different ways, but they get it from this stuff.
The real. Yeah.
Anywho, so they're at a constant war for resources. Even now, they're not like on the same page. They're supposed to be like reptilians and then vulturites.
What the?
So
What's a vulture, right?
bird niggas, yeah. Basically just bird niggas, like Sauron or like that shit that Master Roshi fought in Super.
Oh, that bitch ass.
Yeah. Shit like that.
Shoot his ass out the
Them
sky.
black with Tanglemans. I got you.
Yeah, Tangleman. Yeah. So yeah, that's just. I don't know too much about Lemuria, but that's the idea. Is like it was very like
Iceberg's wearing the shirt.
pre-humanity
Right. Vulture man.
type shit, and then I think they have like
Where people come from?
underground society and shit. I've heard some things about that.
Explain.
So actually, part of my Hawaii journey, I learned about.
Whoa, you seen some vultures?
All right,
Okay.
bet.
Uh-oh.
So
Let's get into
here's what I think.
Damn, this is rough. It's already demonetized, so whatever. Hot takes.
It's funny.
Let's get it.
There's people who, as long as you don't call out certain criminal actors, that run the media, you won't be demonetized. As long as you keep it vague and don't call people out
Directly? Okay.
you have a better
Just avoid
chance.
names.
Oh, don't pull the
Got it.
Steven Crowder. Got it.
Don't call them out. Just keep it vague and shit.
Right.
All right.
But Mike, you just pulled it.
Thanks. God damn it. Stream shot now. All right, whatever.
Yeah, so-
Go ahead,
He's
whatever.
not a big wig. He's
So
not
so
a big wig though.
You don't know that.
I try to be like. I'm trying to
Changed my
synthesize my spiritual side and also my tech side because I feel like it should all be one stream of information.
Right,
I
right.
feel like other societies that are not on this planet have been able to excel
Cyborg
because
ninja. Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
classifying their science and their spirituality. It's all one thing to them. They have
Right.
like spiritual tech.
I'll take for that too.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to put it all together.
Okay.
I feel you.
So like I go to Hawaii, right? One of the first nights, actually no, the first night I stayed, I had sleep paralysis.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Yeah, so while I was in
That's
my bed,
terrible.
I couldn't move, but there was like a short ass shadow with glowing yellow eyes.
Oh.
It was like right there.
That's wonderful.
It didn't feel malicious, but it was like scoping me out.
It was
and
just
shit.
watching,
It was
yeah.
like,
Just watching.
and this is
What the fuck did you take?
I took nothing, bro. I was with my family, which is funny because most people have experienced sleep paralysis without any drugs.
And they freak out,
Most people
right?
have like, oh, for real, only once?
Yeah, only.
Oh man, I had a whole fucking summer when it just wouldn't stop happening to me and my brother. But like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. But anyway, so
Gotta get out of Queens. That's why you got out of Queens, bro. I'm telling you.
so in the past, I've had a lot of malicious sleep paralysis experiences, but this wasn't malicious. It was just like neutral, you know. So that was considerable, but I didn't know anything about it yet, right?
Right.
All right, so boom, days pass by. This is after I actually meet up with my homie Ghost, and I told you that the locals, the natives of Hawaii, they're spiritual.
Kamehameha.
They right.
I know
Right.
what it is, yeah.
Kamehameha, he was a king.
Yeah. They just got rid of him. I'm like, oh, how you just gonna get rid of a king like that? Okay.
I was on
Who's making waves?
Kamehameha Highway and
Bars.
shit. I was there.
That's a bar.
So freaking all right. So Ghost had educated himself a little bit on like the history of the land or whatever.
Yeah.
So
You know,
there's an ancient race of people called the Minohune.
Yeah.
This
the
ancient race.
spirit, right? The spirit people.
It's supposed to-
spirit walkers or whatever.
Yeah, they're supposed
I
to
know
be like.
some things.
Okay, so you probably heard of it. This, you know about this, bro. They talk about this.
Uh-huh.
The locals. It's like a oral tradition type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like a 3 to 4 foot being.
Right.
That they basically everything that Hawaii has, like their lakes, all their fish, all the beautiful shit. They're rumored to have brought all that to Hawaii. Like they made the lakes. They're like magical ass beings apparently, right?
Water, yeah.
So now I'm like, okay. Y'all believe in little 4 foot beings, and then my first night here, I got fucking stalked out. I got like staked out by a 4 foot being. You know what I'm saying? So I started like looking more deep into it. I go on Reddit. Okay. I go on
that is
Reddit.
crazy.
People got crazy fucking stories about them in the Hune,
Oh, I'm
bro.
about to check that out.
People
Okay.
got
All
wild
right.
stories, and it's not
That's
always
kind
nice.
of that's kind of the wave too, because
It's not
I'm
always
listening
nice,
to the
bro.
Reddit, whatever it's like the stories or whatever. I can't get enough.
Wait,
of it.
wait.
The mainstream media is corrupt as fuck. So Reddit, like, what do they call that? They call
Reddit,
civilian journalism.
Okay.
Civilian journalism is what it's about
journalism
now.
is more credible than regular journalism
Yes.
now.
Oh, snap.
I have a hot take.
Ooh, get him.
Hot take.
Did Game Freak look into this thing and based a lower on Hawaii because of that?
Probably.
Because most of those TP legends or Tapu legendaries,
Look, man, Hawaii
same
is a
thing.
historically enchanted land. This is not new news. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
a magical fucking place.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
They grow pineapples. It's hard to get pineapples, man. I'm telling you. Good luck.
Good luck.
But yeah, man. Oh, so this is all about human origin, right? So,
right.
all right. So I was telling my parents about this, and my dad was like, "Oh, little magical people, we have that back home too. In the Congo, they have a tribe called the Pygmy tribe,
Right.
and they're known for." First of all, does this sound familiar to you?
I'm listening.
Pygmy tribe, little people, Pikmin. Okay,
yeah.
so this is what I thought about. But anyway, they're known for like
I'm nothing about Pikmin, but yeah. I got
the
you.
same thing about the Minohune, little people that magical as fuck. They were actually one of the last tribes to get westernized. They were the ones that held out the longest. That they didn't change for a minute until they use tricks like I think that the colonizers showed them like mirrors and like got them drunk and shit. They found ways to like befriend them and fuck them up later. But this is all like my dad telling me this shit. So that happened. Then I told my girl about it, Bethany. She said that her dad talked about those in Jamaica. So I'm like, okay.
All these, okay.
I think before humans, there was some little race going around here. Some little magical people that was going on.
Giving me One Piece vibes, man. I can't.
So
they literally have a little group called Tontadas in One Piece that do the exact same thing.
So this is just me making.
He's a hot take.
You know what I mean?
These little niggas are AOAs.
Right.
Yeah. Don't mess with Tyrion and his crew.
I take there were multiple type of humans before we settled on these humans. So that's kind of a thing. There was, what was it? I don't know what it was called, but it was like a war or whatever, right? And then you ended up like the humans that are these humans are the ones that stand. But there was like stout ones, there was brolic ones, there was less smart ones,
Dwarves, Neanderthals, and
all of a
others.
sudden Neanderthals,
All the fantasy races that we have.
Neanderthals,
Same shit.
Cro-Magnon, all these
That's
different
weird.
classifications.
Explain that. That's weird.
Nah, there's no way to explain
weird.
it. It's just,
I'm just saying it's weird. Yeah, we weren't just us.
Definitely not.
It's complicated.
Definitely not.
yeah, and just how you were saying how like they have spiritual and the science is just merged in just one thing. I was having a talk with. I actually had the same talk with like a couple of people. Some people were more open-minded than others about it, but
Yep. Like you crazy. Social media.
yeah, that's I don't even do social media. Fuck social media. But, nah, it was like some people were saying how they could have to be so separated, and I'm like, why? Like
Right.
why
Why
do they
do
have
we
to
gotta
be
separate?
separated?
Yeah, I never
like
got that.
people say, oh, I don't believe in the Big Bang. God created the whole thing. I'm like, and I don't believe in God because the Big Bang thing. I'm like, nigga, it says.
I made the Big Bang.
Thank you. Let there be light. Boom. He reversed Thanos, snapped, and it was a fucking reverse Thanos. What's the
I'm
problem?
pretty sure that this is all on purpose.
Of course.
Like my thing right now, son. The moon, bro. The moon is very strange, man.
What's with the moon?
The moon is shady.
We talking about
moon is
universe.
shady.
You done scaled it down to the moon. What up?
Okay, so
Moon is
like
shady.
so I did scale it down, but we can scale it back up
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Because all right. First of all, it's
Why didn't we ever go back?
Oh God, Mike, you're asking all the right and wrong questions, man. All right, so
Or did we go back and they didn't say nothing?
nah, niggas ain't go back, bro.
For the people who don't
They
see,
may not have even went.
Neo turned his hat backwards.
Okay, they did, but
It's a battle
I'll explain
time.
the discrepancy.
We're a conspiracy bird, and we got the reawakened Neo.
Yeah, man. All right, so
Took two red pills instead of one. Way higher than his fucking dose. Fucked up right
We might
now.
need to cut this podcast into 2 podcasts. This is the conspiracy podcast, and what happened? All right.
It's fine. Don't matter.
the overview is okay. Just the reason why I brought it up because of the whole God thing is I'm pretty sure that this whole solar system / universe is like intelligent design. Some of the shit is too exact, especially looking at Earth, right? How Earth works. So I didn't realize this, but the moon is 27% the size of the Earth. Okay, that's a very large satellite to planet ratio. So the rest of the planets in the solar system, the next biggest ratio is like 5%.
5, yep.
Yeah, so you know about that shit.
Yep.
So first of all, we have a big ass satellite. I don't think its weight makes sense. I think based on what they calculate the weight to be for its size, it's pretty much hollow. So that's inconsistent.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Shit, you would have to Google the numbers, but that's the consensus is that the weight doesn't really match like
At all.
I think they did experiments about the craters pretty much.
It's
They were
technically-
like,
it's
why
supposed-
did why did the impact have this wide of a reach if the moon has this type of density? I think that was their experiment, and they were like, oh
But-
shit, it's
but
kind of hollow.
But didn't they launch something at the moon and there was a ringing sound?
Yes, you know about the ringing sound.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. That's the hollow shit I'm talking about. Yeah. Might be knowing, bro.
As far as the density of the moon, it's not remotely as dense as it should be given its size.
Yeah, don't-
It's
not consistent.
It's an anomaly in and of itself.
Okay, here's the other weird thing, okay? So the distance between, I think, the moon and the Earth is the exact distance of if you, like, smush together all the planets in the solar system, that would be the exact, like almost damn near exact length of, like, the distance of the Earth to the moon. You take all the planets in the solar system, smush them together, right spot on.
That's weird.
Mad weird, right? Okay, so the weirdest thing, the solar eclipse.
Right.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the moon is a couple thousand kilometers in diameter, right? And then the sun is like 1.3 million kilometers. Okay, so when we have an eclipse, the moon and the sun are basically the same size. Okay, think about how. So think about the relative position of where the moon is to the sun, and the chances that they would match up perfectly from our point of view.
Yeah, the moon size is
no
about
fucking sense. It's
1,079 miles.
How big is it, man?
1,079 miles.
Yeah,
that's the moon.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll get to the sun in a second.
It's about 400 times bigger than the moon. So that's a strange coincidence, man.
Yeah,
it's
sun is
mathematically pretty much impossible.
432,170 miles around. That's the sun. Yeah.
So
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So that's just the math of it, all right? So here's the historical part. So Berg was like, yo, did niggas even go to the moon? There's a lot of confusion about that. The conspiracy heads think we didn't go because we're seeing fake moon footage, okay? So they're based on what I see, both is true. We have fake moon footage and we went.
I think they went once.
I
think.
Right.
Listen, as a photographer, I'm gonna tell you something. There's been some times where I had to do a reshoot because my memory card fucked up or something happened. So I'm thinking they went, they couldn't quite get the footage. So instead of like, yo, we ain't going back up there. We can just make the shit. We did go, but kind of lying.
Okay.
Kind of lying. Really lying.
The guy was on the moon, just like.
That's it.
That was the Morty's mind blowers. That's the best episode. Morty just has to. It was too traumatizing.
He's like, nope, get rid of it.
Get rid of it. I don't want it.
I get the feel.
He's innocent and shit. Yeah.
I got a hot take on this. I get the feeling we went and we saw something we weren't supposed to see.
Yeah.
And it was some like, we let you leave, but you can't ever come back here again type
Basically,
thing.
all right. So you're right. Here's what happened. So first of all, again, just to not sound crazy, this is coming from whistleblowers on the inside. So the dude who was running Apollo, was it 11 that went?
I think so.
So the one that the famous one small step for mankind, that like I think it was the media control person or somebody in a high position. He's very much like aliens are on the moon. He's very open about that. Okay, so this is coming from him. So apparently, is it Neil or Lance Armstrong? I'll be mixing
Neil
up
Armstrong.
these white people and shit.
Lance
Armstrong was the one that lost his nuts and took
lost his
steroids to race.
Neil.
Fuck that guy.
So Neil.
Step for man.
Neil, okay. All these Neils are smart as fuck. Neil's a good name. I'm gonna name my kid Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Feel the ass Tyson. Tight.
By the way, Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think, are pretty corrupt. Because they don't like acknowledge aliens. I think that's sus. I think that's pretty sus, man.
I think
they're ops to me.
I think
That's
what
disinfo.
I think what it is. There's so much conspiracy stuff out there.
Not Bill Nye. Bill Nye has a fucking bachelor's.
Yeah, he does.
No, Bill Nye smart as shit.
He has more. His accolades are more entertainment related than science related. He's more like a charismatic ass guy who knows a little bit about science.
I think what it is that
He's very well marketed.
Does a degree mean everything though? Can you be smart without a degree?
This nigga don't believe in aliens. He's not that smart. To me,
I think what it is.
he's openly like,
There's
yo,
no-
y'all are dumb for believing in aliens.
There's
Wow,
no,
that's stupid.
Fuck you, Bill Nye.
there's no definitive.
You can't have both ways.
Hold on, he said there's no what?
He fights the flat. He's not with the flat Earth.
Okay, I believe that the flat Earth community is
They're around the world.
basically
Fucking idiots.
it's used
They're looking for
it's used to promote they promote flat Earth to make people who deviate from the status quo look sus. So flat Earth, of course, is bullshit, but people put conspiracy theorists in that category so they have that thriving community to throw us all in there when we try to keep it real. So that's why that's going on. Not
True.
the flat.
They don't give a care.
That's why
flat Earth is
they're around
not
the
real,
globe.
but they're victimized. I mean, like I would say they're victims.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so
Victim is being fucking
boom.
idiots.
So
To my
back to the
point.
moon thing. Yeah.
I don't think because obviously if you have a brain and you put two and two together, there's aliens out there. But if you think about it, there hasn't been something released that gives you definitive proof other than someone saying,
Okay,
yeah, I think
so-
there is aliens.
Okay.
So first
Like
of all,
we don't have pictures of a gray.
They do, right? So
Actually, I got a hot take on that
And they're
one.
also wait. I didn't even get to the moon shit. Please. I got you. So
Mine's actually probably even darker than what you about to say.
all
Go
right,
ahead.
but
All right, this is that
we
kind of
we do
podcast.
have a lot of shit on aliens that's coming out right now. Like I believe about 2 weeks ago, was it the FBI? Oh, no, the Navy came out and said we have been researching UFOs. They're real. They came out and definitively said
There
it.
was something like, wasn't there some? I think it was on D. Zamiro, and like it was like a Air Force pilot. He was like, "Yo, there's something in the air, bro." I was like, "Bro, like, what kind
Okay,
of
look,
terminology?"
and so at the same time, you got Bill Nye for years been against this shit. So honestly, I don't think
Can't
Bill
make a
Nye is
dinosaur
dumb. I just think he's paid. I think he's paid off to basically keep the narrative going.
It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest for our biggest science guys to be paid off, because obviously you don't want people whistleblowing your stuff, and his stuff is getting whistleblown anyway.
That's what I think,
Look,
man.
I'm on the side. Yeah, they're out there. There's a video of the International Space Station with a UFO docked at the station.
It's a lot, man.
You mean a saucer?
Yeah, saucer.
Because it's not a UFO anymore. if you know
No.
what the fuck
I
it is.
mean,
It's docked.
bro, since before any of us were, long before any of us were born, they've known about this.
Yeah.
They've had
It's probably
more advanced
before
tech than we've ever
Roswell
seen
or Roswell.
years before we were even born. Roswell, even before Roswell.
that, yeah.
Like, if you look at what people were saying around like the 30s and 40s, everybody kind of knew what was up. Like, there was a lot of UFO shit in the news, in the media at the time, in the art, the movies. It was all about flying saucers. That's because people were seeing them. That's because people were seeing them at the time, man.
It's another thing that people don't like understand. Hollywood shows us truth, but they spin it to make it look like you're ridiculous to say that it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. So this can go back to the moon landing shit, right? So so people say, did we even go to the moon? You know, the community often says that people fake the moon landing, and I think that both is true. I think that they pretty much shot a fake moon landing in case they didn't really make it to the moon because of the whole Cold War thing. I think they had to like make it look fire.
You know what? You're right.
If they failed. So they ended up actually going, and they stayed for 36 hours. You can only find about 3 hours of footage of the moon landing. So I'm pretty sure.
I wonder why.
Yeah, so apparently, the dude I was talking about, the guy who was overseeing that mission, he was like, the first thing Neil said when he opened the door was that there's other ships here.
Wow.
There was a big ass crater and other massive ass ships, and just like Mike said, they let them do their little goofy experiments. But they were like, "Y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go." And it wasn't just aliens that was there, but actually the Germans have been there since the 40s and the
Actually,
30s.
It gets even worse than that.
It's called Project Paperclip.
Yes,
but they've been there for a really long time.
Oh, 100%. Actually,
So like Hellboy and shit. This is where they get it from. The Thru Society.
and there's another
Literally
part.
real
There's
shit.
another part of that too. There was this person, Ann Jacobson, right?
German engineering.
If y'all heard of that book, Surprise, Kill, Vanish, right? Written by some CIA operative, Ann Jacobson. She was also
go.
dealing with a lot of people dealing with Area 51. But there was some situations where CIA. There would be
Clowns in America.
exactly. There would be buses that they would have for like autistic kids. And,
That's a bar.
yeah, they'll have people like.
Clowns in America. That's a bar.
I didn't make that up, but go on.
Gotcha.
Hacker say it.
Yeah, so they'll take like buses of like autistic kids, people that we find missing, etc., people with deformities, that certain people that they wouldn't even miss, supposedly. Bring them to the spot and do like basically kill them or euthanize them, make them feel a certain kind of way, and then do actual surgery on them to. And I know this goes into the realm, a lot of lobotomize and then the actual plastic surgery to make them look like Greys in a sense. Because I'm assuming Greys is not like the most standard version. Like, why does an alien have to be bipedal? Rick and Morty had it right. Like, as far as aliens, they should be way different than what we actually look.
Exactly.
In fact, they're like bipedal Greys. So why is that the case?
Yeah.
So that would be one way of people throwing us off of other aliens that actually did show up.
Why are we bipedal?
This is
What
true.
if the thing that engineered us was bipedal and we weren't the first ones?
Exactly. That's another possibility.
The scientific hot take. The human spine makes no sense.
We're trash. As far as physicality, we're garbage. Listen,
My Uncle Steve taught me, he's like, if you look at it, the way we're designed,
Everybody's supposed to be horizontal.
yeah, we're supposed to be quadrupeds. And the way the lower back, that's why you have back problems in your 40s and 50s. Because after a while, it doesn't make sense.
Evolutionary speaking, yeah, because
Yeah,
like we've only been bipedal for a fraction of our real like time here on Earth. Most of it was like spent, like you said, as quadrupeds. Our spines have not caught up to our new habits.
you know what's funny? Like, there's these mangas that sometimes get a little accurate in certain cases. If y'all read Baki, there was a prehistoric era. What they did is like they unearthed this fucking Neanderthal. They named him Pickle for some reason, and it was a monster. But it actually showed like what his like skeletal system was, and it's very reminiscent of what the Neanderthals actually were. Where him being bipedal when he decided to stand, it made no sense because the vertebrae was completely fucking straight. There was like no real curve in it. The neck was obscenely thick, and that's because he had to keep his head up rather than letting gravity rest on it. Things like that. Even the way his hips were aligned, you saw that they were way more on the outside. I said the legs have more sideways motion. Right, and they actually pointed that out a lot in the manga and how he fought and things like that. So I looked it up, and yeah, there's a lot of research on it. It makes no sense. Our evolution physically is just trash. We are a trash species as far as physicality.
All we could be is an experiment in an ant farm.
Like, we can't fight a bear. Like, let's be real. We used to be able to. Think about it. As Neanderthals, we had to survive fucking dinosaurs. Like, real talk. Were we around at the same time as dinosaurs? To a certain extent?
It depends on who you believe. I'm not really sure about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, the sapiens aren't said to have been around yet. It wasn't Neo sapiens. Homo sapiens. That's supposed to be the next step.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet. We got work to do.
Oh, I mean, about that. I mean, we have like the way evolution's already going. We're about to be like part machine anyway. We're pretty much halfway there.
They say that humans are gonna attend their own funerals as machines.
Oh, the transhumanists?
Yes, 100%. There was this
They
graph.
showed that in Doctor Who.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the book Dan Brown's Origins talks into that too. It was based off of a lot of the transhumanist movement. They were saying that machines were the next evolutionary step, and that was going to wipe out regular humanity. And then what it means though is that eventually they kept going with the graph, and then they eventually fused, so we became basically fucking cyborgs.
Yeah, man.
Like,
And
we're halfway there.
Things are really happening, dude. Like,
Just holding a fucking phone, we are infinitely smarter than we ever were at any
that's
given
true.
point.
Do you guys know about quantum computers?
A little bit, yes.
I heard
damn
about
it,
it,
man.
How
Can you-
stupid fast it can compute stuff.
Oh, it's worse because now we talk about predicting future models.
What the
and shit.
fuck, bro? We're here. It's just a matter of who has access to it now. Like, it's definitely here.
It's in Spain
they're
right now.
fucking with time too. Like, it's getting
it's-
really weird.
It's in Spain right now, actually. Those, I think it was the E-Wave right now.
Yo, you mentioned Dan Brown. Like, CERN is going ham right now. They got a fucking portal, I'm pretty sure.
Where's the hot take?
Good, right there.
I swear to crap. Swear to God.
Swear to
Mandela effect.
It's the Berenstein Bears. I've
Mandela
known
effect
that
is
my
real.
whole life.
Mandela effect. It's not just the Bernstein Bears either. It's a lot of other things, dude.
But come on.
I found like 30 things, literally, that people have talked about and be like,
Yeah,
yo, it's
like,
different
yo, I
now.
remember, yeah.
What else? So Forrest Gump is one of them.
What happened with that?
So like, what's the classic line from Forrest Gump?
Life is like a box of
Say it again.
Life is like a box of
Say it slowly.
Life is like a box of chocolate.
If you were to go and find a VHS of Forrest Gump, he would say life was like a box of chocolates. Okay? If you get a VHS of Toy Story 2, Woody goes, "There's a snake in my boots."
Which makes
Makes no grammatical sense, but it's definitely different. There's a lot of examples, you know what I'm saying? So it isn't like
Sinbad.
It isn't like right. It isn't like a
Here's my
remastered
fucking
version. People are going back and buying the old shit, and it's changed. There's no.
Oh, so someone is messing with time.
So people say it could be quantum computers. People say it could be CERN's shit. They have a
They have a super collider.
yeah.
But the super collider is meant to
Hydrogen
like
collider?
no super collider. What it is?
For a hydrogen collider.
Not a hydrogen collider. If it was a hydrogen collider, we'd be fucked. We'd be dead. We'd be instantly fucked. Like as soon as the two
Yeah.
atoms collide. But basically, the idea was they were supposed to replicate a very small scale Big Bang. So, but I'm not sure how that would affect time. But then again, I don't know what the fuck a Big Bang does. So you know.
I mean, dude, they've been doing a lot of stuff, but like the idea of a quantum computer is that it has processing speed that's just so far beyond what we have now. I don't even think it's really thousands of times more. I think it's like hundreds of thousands of times faster. So they can do things. God, I'm such a noob, but I'll put it this way: if you understand quantum mechanics. Okay, so most of us know about Newtonian physics, like, you know, gravity, solid matter, force acceleration.
I'm familiar with gravity. Fall on my fucking face.
Yeah, everybody knows about Newtonian physics. So we're actually past that now, because that level of physics is like saying that, okay, we got solid matter, we got liquid gas, solid, you know, it's kind of a base level of understanding things. Now we're beyond it, because now we know that it gets smaller than atoms. We have
subatomic particles.
Yeah, we
and
have quarks and gluons. Yeah, we have quarks and gluons. So if you look at that, there's atoms everywhere. Everything has that level of particles too. You have quarks and gluons. So really, there's no solid matter. Nothing's separate. It's just one cloud of matter.
You're never ever touching anything.
Evangelion.
It's always touching and never touching.
If y'all remember Evangelion at the very end with that thing, and basically all these angels were trying to touch the Lilith, or no, the Atom thing, and all it's supposed to do is get rid of people's, what do they call it, AT field? I don't know, maybe that was their concept of it, but all it really did was turn people, like, just disperse people, right? Because everything was just one flowing water or one flowing mass, give or take. So that was the idea.
And so that type of understanding has spiritual implications, right? Because what people have always said about the spirit and God now kind of makes more sense if you look at it on that level. We are all one. We're all connected. It's quite literal, actually.
Okay.
The collective consciousness. It's proven by science now.
Oh, of course. When it comes to that, like everyone being one and all that shit, you know, and this goes back to the conversation I had with the religion plus science.
Blasting off tonight.
It's blasting up again.
Don't be late.
Goodbye. I clock in. The idea though was that people try to say, okay, so the universe created by God has to be based off of order, right? But if you look at the universe itself, it's an entropic universe. The whole point of the universe is to disperse energy. That's literally the whole purpose. Things combine and they get dense and dense and then they blow the fuck up.
So do you think that we have a big bang and then a big closing?
The big crunch.
The big crunch.
Yeah, big crunch.
I think we
That,
have like
death, etc.
if y'all read comics, Convergence and Secret Wars.
Oh, 100%.
The new ones, that's basically what
That's
it
exactly
is.
what happened.
Yeah, it's like collapsing of realities. This is how we get the Mandela effect and shit. I'm pretty sure it has to do with collapsing timelines.
Because
they're kind of funny with it too. They're talking about what's his name, Mysterio. I'm from Earth, but I'm not from your Earth because of the snap.
Oh yeah.
So
They're doing that.
Multi worlds, yeah. Oh, surprise! Doc Doom's in this one. Yeah.
I mean, I love all that stuff. It's like it's propaganda because they're trying to get us ready for the disclosure. I think they're about to really start dropping some real shit on us.
Like what?
The secret space program, the crimes of the government. A lot of shit's gonna
like
start
the
coming
hackers
out.
just leaking it out.
Okay, yes, and then you gotta understand the government has its own hackers that are white hats. So basically, the government's at war with itself right now, and part of them fighting that, well, actually, it's basically an information war. So part of the information war is controlling the narrative, and to do that, you gotta declassify certain things. They haven't declassified everything because it's pending. Indictments, pending cases, but they're wrapping the shit up. So like a lot of things are coming out that's like pretty crazy. But yes, like in short, it's mostly because of the email leaks and the work of these hacker activists that have been like getting it out there, like Anonymous and literally because of Anonymous.
So where's the line between that and your little the Kamehameha people?
Free my man Snowden.
I
Are
mean,
they made up of atoms as well?
Well, I don't even know, dude. I think they can go in between dimensions. They can go from the solid realm to whatever the fourth dimension or fifth dimension
They
is.
definitely could.
Yeah, they can
Fourth
go in
and
and out.
fifth, like fourth. Well, yeah.
So like fourth and
Fourth
fifth are
is
like less
time.
dense. Like the more you increase the number of the dimension, it's like a less
Also,
dense.
it's easier to travel through.
They say Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, because like for me, 2, it'd be relatively impossible for 2 to get to 3. So I guess for 3 to 4 harder,
yeah. Okay,
and then 4 to 5 would be.
I agree, because the way I think of it is like the way we in a 3D reality can control, program, and basically be gods of 2D.
Yeah.
I would feel like the 4D people are like gods here, and 5D are like gods in 4D and lower.
Yeah.
Basically, like they can program lower realities.
yeah. So you were saying that the 4th dimension is time.
Right. Well, not the way you
Is the
think.
4th dimension time? Like we don't know what the higher
Well,
dimensions
by
are.
science, yeah. I saw it goes up to 12. 12 is
Yeah, it goes up to 12.
I think it.
12
Yeah,
is dumb.
it might even
it
exceed
has to do
12.
with time.
Yeah, but
something,
time, but yeah,
something
not
with the
time
4th
in the
dimension
way
and
you
time
think.
is going
Yeah.
on. I don't think time works the same way. That
Yeah, time doesn't work the way
No,
you think.
time. You don't understand.
I
time.
wouldn't say not.
saw
I wouldn't say
something.
exactly because unfortunately, time. Because what is space considered? 3rd dimension, right?
Well, I thought it was like length, width, and height.
That'd be considered space.
Yes.
Or just-
and then once you add the 4th, now we're going to
Time,
things
yeah.
like time.
Time,
Yeah.
space.
That was my understanding of
Because
it.
we experience it, but we're not because we experience time. We don't really control
And then-
time. That's what 4 is.
Yeah, and then I think once you go to the 4th dimension, then you're not really abiding by the laws of time in the same way.
Right.
It's not like a.
It's not linear.
It's not time.
Time is
It's
linear
not
for us,
linear, right?
exactly.
It's not like an
Linear
arrow.
for
It's
us.
more like a circle or
So,
sphere or something.
Yeah, it's like a web.
So I got a little bit of a hot take then. So in certain cases, as far as time dilation, time being collapsed by space, things with black holes, etc. So time and gravity affect each other, right?
Yes.
So, but if gravity and all that is based off of the 3rd dimension and time is in the 4th, but it's supposed to run over, how do we explain that one? Right?
Wait.
Wait, what? Say it again?
Think about it. If space and gravity, black holes, etc., stretch or condense time, which is space.
They affect it, yeah.
So, but if any dimension higher than what we are is supposed to currently run it or rule it, so to speak, how is it affecting time?
Is what 5?
How is gravity and space and black holes, etc.,
Oh, it
affecting
can affect.
time?
Yeah, I'm sure it can. It can affect it. I don't think it just controls. it.
Ain't no
I think
2D thing affecting me at all.
I think. No,
You can
yeah.
see it,
I at best.
I think
and you can create it also.
it pretty much is like what you're saying.
Yeah, cause see how
think-
time it's affected, but you can still it interacts. Yeah, because like dimension 1 is just a line, right? So it's a line. 2D is
No,
like a
one
flat.
is a dot.
Yeah.
Or 1 is a dot, right? And then 2D is paper or whatever, anything flat or whatever, flat zone.
You can say it's a line.
Actually, yeah, it is a line. So line, then like maybe a box,
Flat zone,
then
yeah,
a cube.
just, whatever, yeah. And then 3 is length, width, height, boom, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And then time, well, I'm getting ahead of yourself, but time as in it flow. So what you're saying it's affected, it does affect it, but I think if we would get to the 4th dimension, it wouldn't just be linear. We would be able to go to different points, which is what they want with
But
time
to be honest,
travel.
time is not linear as it stands now, though.
It is for us.
Not really.
We can't go back.
It's not that we can't go back, but we experience it at different rates. Someone at a higher altitude is technically feeling it at a faster rate.
But it's still moving one direction.
I suppose. In that case, that's fine.
that is true.
So
There are
that's-
time zones, yes, 100%. Higher altitude, you experience time. Like if you're on the floor, and somebody's in like a
already
tower,
Monday in Japan.
you're feeling it different. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think we can. Like time is always going one way for us. And
Well,
I think
yeah,
once
I
you
mean,
transcend that, it'll go a different direction.
It's based on location, basically. What you're saying means that time gets affected by where you are. Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, because gravity is tied to it, like you said.
Yeah.
So the further you are from the core, or wherever like the gravity ruling part is, because you know how like the center is like where the gravity is. Like everything is going towards the center, like because gravity, at least on a planetary level, it's kind of pulling everything on the planet like towards the center, if you're thinking of it like in a directional way. So, and you're saying that altitudes affect how time passes by too?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Height. It's differently.
Whatever it is, we can see that time is not like it's malleable. It's not like a static thing. It's more like it's mad variables involved.
It's variables,
in time,
yeah.
which is not what we were
Which is
taught.
yeah, it's literally crazy because I was driving through Tennessee and it was sun was going down, and we were going through the time zone. Once we hit a certain point, like the sun was down, or whatever, hit like the border, sun was up. I'm like, this doesn't make any damn sense, but it was cool because we were technically an hour back going through what you call it, Eastern to Central time. I was like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's all relative.
It's weird. It's weird.
Like good old Einstein said.
Yeah, I don't understand. What was Einstein on? Because he's crazy. Ain't nobody been there?
Einstein seems like a good dude who just like his tech and his science got hijacked by the wrongdoers.
Right.
Sounds
He
like
was good.
Tesla.
Yeah. Oh, all day. Too smart.
I made a pretty cool Tesla discovery actually.
What's that? Explain. Berg loves Tesla.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Thunder Pals love Tesla.
Tesla's my
Facts.
dude right there, man. But when he died mysteriously, his
Damn mysterious.
he that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That'd be hilarious.
Swimming with electric eel.
His lab got raided by Trump's uncle, John Trump.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like their like
Give me one more reason.
he was like their FBI type of he was like the X-Files guy. He was the one who they would send him around to get information about like space tech alien stuff, like suspect, science things to get ahead of the Germans. They knew that the Germans were ahead. So they had people like John D. Trump going around getting info, trying to get ahead of what the Germans were doing.
Trump.
So Tesla was ahead of the government.
Right.
So this is why he had so much struggle in his life. But John D. Trump definitely like raided his shit and then put out a public statement saying, oh, his science was all, his research was speculative in nature. Nothing real was happening here.
Yeah.
Now we know that that's
Right.
not true, but they were putting out a statement for the public so that nobody would think about it anymore.
Discredit.
And then,
So, like-
and then Edison took the non-dangerous stuff and claimed it for himself.
So for Trump to have a space force now, there's a background to it.
Yeah.
He definitely knows more than he's letting on,
True.
which is interesting.
They all do. They play idiots on TV.
And with that, we gonna wrap it up.
Ooh. Dive right into the conspiracy end of things, but it's fine. That's what it is. DaPillaManz, we keeping it 100 a buck.
This entire podcast got completely derailed.
Got
Thanks
completely,
to me, yo.
completely. Expect more, but that's
Derailed
what
or
it is.
rerailed.
Hey.
Hey.
Down the
I know it's not the usual Yu-Gi-Oh! And dick jokes, but it's fine.
Hey, yo.
That's perfect.
Yes. That's what
We
it
out.
is.
Leave it at you.